the issue is, A, that the pill has in it what it says it has in it and the amount it says it has in it. So that if it's 10 milligrams of this pill, and this pill will all have 10 milligrams. All right? This pill, and this pill, and this pill will all have 10 milligrams of the vitamin it says it has in it. And that's a bit of a tricky procedure. The manufacturing is mostly self-regulatory, self-management. And there's really not anybody watching the shop as closely as they should be. So it is hard to know. There are a number of good players out there, and the bigger players have really moved toward pharmaceutical level processing for quality assurance for their products. But we carry a small number of supplements in our center, but we've done a lot of research. We've made sure that they've got third-party certification. We've made sure we know what their SAPs are, their standard operating processes, and we know where they're getting their products from, because if you're looking at certain herbs, for instance, they're coming in from China, may not want those unless they've been checked for heavy metals, for instance, because a lot of those can be contaminated. Same thing with herbs coming out of India. We've seen a significant problem with heavy metal contamination from those. If we're looking for the shelf life, they tell me that this thing comes out, how long will it last? So if I'm getting a probiotic, what's the shelf life and at what temperatures? So that is that shelf life, if it's got 10 billion colony forming units, and I want to know if those are live or dead units, okay? So many of the products don't tell you if they're live. I want to know if they're live, because we think that that may be a little bit more beneficial to you, or a lot more beneficial than the dead colony forming units. So we want live colony forming units. We want to know how many. And by the way, there's 100 trillion cells sitting in the gastrointestinal tract. All right, so 1 billion units is kind of like sprinkling. So when we are actually serious about doing that level of supplementation, we're starting at 50 and moving up to 100 billion colony forming units. I want to know if that product, what's the shelf life of that product at 80 degrees, 70 degrees, and in a refrigerator, because that's all going to be different. Because the hot weather will kill them off much faster. So there's a lot of moving pieces to this, but generally, if and we're not going to name specific manufacturers, but there are a number of well-established manufacturers who have been very conscientious in establishing that they've got the right stuff in the right bottles. But be cautious about where you're getting your stuff from. Black cohosh. We need to make sure that what you're getting, black cohosh for hot flashes, for menopause, really works very nicely. But again, is it black cohosh or is it red cohosh? Red cohosh has no impact whatsoever. So the lab has to have done the proper studies, quality control to make sure, and the difference between black cohosh and red cohosh, by the way, to the eye is not much once it comes in as the root. So, so you really have to do spectrographic analysis to determine what's what. So it's a tricky thing, and it's not as easy, but it can be done.